Well, April 1st is approaching. It's a very, very important deadline. Don't miss out on what you can do to save in your property taxes. Well, hello, everyone. This is Felicia Moore, your host for another show, another realty resources and reality show. I'm going to ask you to please help us out. Get this show out in the algorithm by hitting that thumbs up button, liking. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and please share this information. You may know someone who needs the information, or you just may want to say, hey, this is a good show. Let's support it by subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. You know what? I also want to see you. I want to talk to you. So if you have questions related to real estate, or, I do other things as well, feel free to call me. Other people do. Take advantage of the resource. We want to be a resource for you here at Exit Realty West Midtown. Not only will we do full service brokerage, but we also just want to be a community resource. That's our way of giving back to the community. So please take this free resource to your advantage. If you have any questions for me or show topics for me, or you want to invite me to groups to talk about some things that I know you need to know, if you're a homeowner or want to be a homeowner, please reach out to me at Ask Felicia at exitwestmidtown.com, or you can text Ask Felicia to 85377. I will respond and I will look forward to connecting with you. But again, before the show is over, as a matter of fact, do it right now. Hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Now, I have been talking about this one thing for all the time I've been doing the show because it's really gotten under my crawl. And that's when people's property are being stolen at the courthouse step, where someone just goes in and records loans on your property, or they take your whole property away along with your title. They say they own your property. You find out about it years later when you get ready to sell, and you might not get it back. But there's a way to alert you. It doesn't stop it, but it can alert you early and soon so you can get on top of it. And that is by registering your property with your county clerk. I said do it both places, and the state of Georgia. And in Fulton County, you can do it on their REACT system, and the state of Georgia, everyone in the state can do this. If you have family, friends, relatives, etc., who don't even live in the state of Georgia, if they live in the United States of America, this is happening across the country, tell them to Google it and find out where they can register their property. I've done it. I've gotten alerts. Nothing fraudulent so far, but I tell you, I pay attention, and if I found that out, I would get on it. So please get on it. So at the top of the show, I said April 1st was the deadline, and so we are now at our second show of the month. We have our shows on the 1st and the 3rd Thursdays of the month. So if you didn't do it from the first show, this is your last chance to do it. And what you should do is Google your county that you live in and ask in Google, what are the homestead exemptions available in blank county? Because when I was pulling together resource information, I realized I have an exemption on my property taxes that I can file for next year when I become 65. And I wouldn't have even thought about it. We forget about these things. But please, you only have until April 1st to get that benefit this year. An exemption reduces the amount of value that they, being the city, the state, the county, the school board, the bonds, whoever, can assess on your property, and it keeps your property bill low. And you would want to do that because people and municipalities and governments are running short of money. They raise their millage rate, and you get this bill, and you say to yourself, oh my goodness, and you're wondering how to pay for it. Make sure you take advantage of every discount that you can possibly do. Okay. So you got to April 1st. That's the deadline. And so the next time we see each other here, it'll be too late if you haven't done it for this year. Also, make sure you keep your eyes open. Keep your eye open for your property tax assessment notices. They're going to be coming. You want to look and see what the value of your property is. Has it increased? Has it decreased? You can go on the website and see what your neighbors' homes are doing. If you see that there's some problem, there are many attorneys and other people that can help you find and follow through on an appeal so you can appeal that value. Again, that's why you want to get that exemptions. We want to make sure that we're getting every discount that we possibly can to keep our property bills low, not high. Okay? So now we are talking in this show. This is part 2 of our March Homeowners Must Do Essential Spring Prep. So I've told you about those other 2 things that you need to do. We stopped at number 5. At our last show, we talked about the outside inspection, inspecting the gutters and the roof, servicing our HVAC, checking for pest infestations that may have occurred in the winter when they were trying to get in your home because it was warm, sealing and inspecting windows and doors. And again, this is to keep your AC in when you start, as well as to keep pollen out, because pollen can be an allergen and it can get in your home. Also, preparing your lawn and garden. For those gardeners, I know you couldn't wait till the weather got better so you can get out there. But even if you don't do that, if you want that lush, beautiful green yard, now's the time to do that, and those beautiful manicured shrubs. So today we're going to talk about 6 through 10. We've given the top 10. We've already been through 5. Let's hit it for part 2. Deep cleaning the house. So this time we're talking about the inside of the house. What do we need to begin to do on the inside? And March can be a good time to prepare for spring cleaning, which a lot of people do in April. But you can start now. You can focus on the floors, the carpets, the hardwood floors, as well as the blinds and drapes. And this is important because you don't want that old winter dust and stuff still around. If you have carpets, this may be a great time to do it yourself. Get you a carpet cleaner from the grocery store and do it, or order someone to come and clean your carpets. You want to keep those fresh carpets. Don't forget those hardwood floors. They need cleaning too. Not only dusting, but they also need to be cleaned. And you can do that yourself at home if you have your own little equipment, or of course you can always pay someone to come and do that as well. Sometimes the people who do carpet cleaning also will do hardwood floor cleaning. That keeps up the dust, the allergens, and keep those floors looking nice, shiny, and beautiful. And your blinds and your drapes. These you're going to want to clean. You might want to wait till after pollen season so you don't have to do it again if you open your windows. But getting that dust off of them, as well as those ceiling fans, because you're going to be cranking them up again. You don't want to be blowing old dust around. Go ahead and get those things clean. Testing, number 7 is test and clean outdoor faucets and sprinklers, because of course during the winter I'm sure you did what you need to do to prepare that you didn't have any frozen pipes, that kind of thing. So now's the time to make sure everything's in working order, and that you don't have any leaks and that your sprinkler head is good and ready to go. Number 8, you want to check for water damage and mold, because you don't want water building up. You want to make sure it's flowing good outside off of your foundation. But inside the house, you want to check under floors, on ceilings. Make sure you're not seeing something that looks like it could be a toilet that was leaking inside or a pipe that was leaking. You want to make sure that there's no molds growing or looking like it might be growing in your home, because again, you're breathing that stuff in and it's not very healthy. Over time, you will regret it. So we want to make sure that we stay on top of that. So we also want to make sure when you're doing it, because you don't see it on your ceiling, you need to get up in that attic and make sure that there are no leaks in that attic, because sometimes it takes time for leaks to get from the attic into your home where you would actually see it. Actually, you want to get on top of it before it. Then you want to check your walls, and if you find something, get it fixed. Don't procrastinate. The longer you wait, the more the wood deteriorates, the more problems you have, and the more money it's going to cost to fix it. Number 9, prepare outdoor spaces. So it's time that we're going to want to get out in the yard. We're going to eventually want to barbecue. Some people like to entertain, or you just might like to sit out on your porch and watch your neighbors go by. So now's the time to clean off that outdoor furniture, uncover it, inspect it. You want to also make sure you inspect your deck. While you're outside, go up underneath it, make sure there's no boards loose, no rusted nails, no termite damage. You just want to make sure that if you invite people out there, including yourself, onto your deck, particularly if it's raised, and most decks are raised high enough, that you want to make sure there's nothing that's going to make that it's going to happen where it injures someone because their foot went through the floor or the doggone thing falls down. People have been killed. So it's always good to check those decks, check your patio for cracks or anything that you may need to do there. Let's see, what else? You want to wash your surfaces, power wash your furniture, and get everything nice, spruced up and ready for the spring. Number 10 is to review your homeowner's insurance policy. It's always good to do that because we know the weather has been crazy. We've had floods. We've had a lot of stuff. The flood insurance is a whole nother thing. It's not going to be part of your homeowner's insurance, but you're going to want to make sure that you're familiar with, make sure you have coverage for storm damage. You know, your roof may get some shingles blown off of it. You may have hail damage. Anything can happen, but you can get this top of mind. And if it's not there, you might want to talk to your insurance agent to see if there may be some additional coverage that you may want to have. You want to refresh your emergency kits in your house, those things that you're going to have in case something goes wrong. They say you should always have water for 3 days, food for 3 days, the essentials that you need in case something catastrophic happens and you're not able to get out. I say longer than 3 days because 3 days is saying that the government would take that long to get to you. Who knows if they'll come to your aid at all. So make sure you have your emergency kit. If you have a generator, crank it up, make sure it's working, make sure that gas is flowing in it. It's not just sitting in the tank. Make sure you have your extension cords, because if the power goes out with a big storm, well, you want to be prepared and have your generator so you don't lose your food in your refrigerator or your food in your freezer or whatever. You want to make sure that you have the generator that can support what you need to be able to get through a power outage. And finally, practice your evacuation plans. Make sure you have those batteries in your smoke detectors, your carbon monoxide detectors. Both are very important, as well as making sure that if you have 2 floors of your house that you can escape. Make sure you have a ladder if you need one. And this year, I'm going to do it. I've been scared, but I guess I'll be scared if I had to actually use it, is to put your plans in action and actually evacuate your house as if you had a fire. So when you do, you won't be scrambling and you'll be able to be safe. Also, make sure you share this plan with your family and friends so you all will know how to find each other in the case of a big storm or an emergency. So that is 10. We did it in part 1 and part 2, those March homeowner must to do. Don't forget, April 1st is the deadline to file for exemptions. Make sure you're filing for all the exemptions that you can. We'll see you again. You can always reach out to us. I'm going to give you all of our contact information, and please take it down. Reach out to us. We want to be your resource here at Exit Realty West Midtown. Until April, I'll see you then.